everyone. This will be the reading for the week of April 7th through the 13th of 2014. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I've got out today. I have a new tea light candle holder, my little Buddha over here. I know you guys can't really see him from this angle, but I absolutely love this. He's sitting on a lotus blossom. Absolutely beautiful. My selenite tower for just attracting all kinds of positive energies. Black tourmaline for deflecting negativity. Turquoise to represent the divine. Amethyst for psychism and clairvoyance. Rainbow petrified wood for patience. I just felt like that really needed to be added today. Next to it, I have a beautiful aquamarine, which is really good for communication on all levels, whether it's verbally or if it's body language, if it's with your spirit guides or with actual people around you, communication between your lower self and your higher self, or your conscious self and your subconscious. And it's really good for working with the throat chakra. And I just felt like this week we really need to work on being a little bit more assertive, learning to open our personal lines of communication a little bit better. So next to that, I have a beautiful fire agate, which is really good for kind of reconnecting to your life source. For me, it's kind of that spark of life. It's that passion and that creativity and that energy to just go about living, more or less. So next to that, I have my beautiful clear quartz, which is for clarity. And over here, you can't really see it from this camera angle, but in my abalone shell, I have a cone of gardenia incense burning. And gardenia is just really good for drawing in calming and peaceful energy and just, finding your center, basically. So the deck that I picked today is my absolute favorite deck out of all of the decks that I have ever worked with. The Sacred Path cards by Jamie Sams. And I'm actually going to try to do a review for this deck here in the very near future, because I haven't been able to find one online. So just keep your eye out for that. And let's go ahead and start the reading. So for the beginning of the week, we have East Shield, Illumination and Clarity. Let me go ahead and put this up so you guys can actually look at it. Alright. So, if I can get this to work. There we go. So the east direction on the medicine medicine wheel is associated with eagle and thus associated with spirit. And when we communicate with spirit in whatever way works best for us, we do receive clarity and illumination in whatever situation we were asking for clarification in. I like seeing this as the first card at the beginning of the week because East is the place of spirit. It's the beginning place and the ending place. And the number on the card is 8. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I like to use numerology, or a basic study of numbers when I read cards, and the number 8 is not the first stage of manifestation, but the second stage of manifestation, with 12 being the completion. And I think that bodes pretty well with what we've been experiencing in the last few weeks, that we've really been starting our paths anew, basically. Not necessarily starting a new path, but basically freshening the paths that we are on and really kind of going for what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And so we are at that second stage of manifestation, I think, where we need to pair right prayer with right action. And what that means is being co-creative with Spirit to manifest what you want in your life. Say you're having trouble finding a job. Okay. Obviously you have to put the work in, fill out applications, build a resume, go through the interview process and try to wow these employers. But on top of that, you can be praying to Spirit and saying, I really need help with this, and I really, really want this job. And so in that you pair right prayer with right action. Because Spirit can't do it all for us. And I think that that's going to be very prominent in the beginning of this week. But do know that Spirit is walking with you, that Eagle is walking with you at the beginning of this week. So for the middle of the week, we have Medicine Bowl, Healing. This is another card that I really, really like. The Medicine Bowl is used for a lot of different things, but if you go by the Native American definition of medicine, medicine is anything that heals on any level, whether it heals spiritually, emotionally, mentally, or physically. If it can be used to heal, then by definition, it can be considered medicine. Okay? And the medicine bowl is a carved wood bowl that has been burned on the inside so that it looks black. And it's used for scrying, for mixing herbs and different like teas and stuff like that. Pretty much anything that can be used for healing, the medicine bowl will be included. And I love seeing this because at the beginning of the week we got a message from Spirit that we're going to get the help that we need. And for the middle of the week we get healing. But with the medicine bowl, you can use it to help others or you can use it to help yourself. And since we got the message of right prayer combined with right action, I think that this week is going to be a very powerful week in terms of taking your own healing into your hands. Taking your responsibilities to yourself into your own hands. If you do feel that you would be more comfortable going to someone who is technically a qualified healer, that they've gone through all of the training and maybe the schooling, priestesses, Reiki masters, medicine men or women, shamans. If you feel more comfortable going to somebody to help you with this, do so. Because even asking for help, you are taking responsibility for what you need and admitting, I need help with this. So I'm going to step up and I'm going to get the help that I need. Alright? And so I really think that this week is a really good stepping stone for all of us. So far. The number on this card is 31. Looking at the digits individually, 3 is very much a happy number. It's kind of a rebirth. It's triple goddess energy or triple god energy. It's divine energy in general. And the number 1 represents new beginnings or solitary work, having to do it in a non-group setting. If we reduce it, it becomes 4, which is balance. It's the directions on the medicine wheel, the seasons, and the first stage of manifestation, which I think is really, really cool, that right here we have the second stage of manifestation, and right here we have the first stage, which kind of, it takes me back to what we've already been discussing, working on self-love and self-healing, and this week it is vital to take your own healing into your hands, to take responsibility for it in whatever form you feel most comfortable with, whether you do it yourself or you ask somebody to help you. So for the end of this week, we have peyote ceremony, new abilities. So I know that a lot of negative associations have been attached to peyote, but really it's a very spiritual herb, very much like tobacco, only it's a little bit more potent. And so the peyote ceremony is it's not new. It is a way for you to kind of examine yourself in a non-judgmental kind of way, to examine yourself as you are rather than as you would like to be, and it is a way for you to find and experience abilities that you may not have known that you had. You may be more psychic than you realize, or you may be more empathetic than you realize. And I'm not saying go out and find some peyote and smoke it, because that's not exactly legal, but hold a little ritual for yourself, where you ask Spirit to reveal to you what it is that you need to be working on or working with right now. Examining what abilities you have within you already that you may not have realized that can help you on your path of healing. So the number on this card is also 4, which, as I said before, is the first stage of manifestation, and it is balance. I am very excited to see what happens this week because of all of the changing energies that seem to be happening right now. But the big thing seems to be communication with yourself and with the people that you most rely on for healing in any sense of the word, whether it's your pastor or your sister or your son, a spirit guide that you are particularly close to. Oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. So like I said, I'm really excited to see what happens this week. But do work on that. Try to work on kind of opening and balancing, clearing out your throat chakra. The throat chakra is the place where we speak our truth. And the truth usually our personal truth usually comes from the heart center or from your crown chakra, which is the place of your higher self, of your spirit self, your intuition. Okay? So keep in mind that Spirit is walking with you this week. It probably will send a messenger of some kind, whether it be a guide of yours, a friend, a teacher, a coworker, to let you know that while you are responsible for taking your healing into your own hands, you don't have to do it alone if you don't want to. I know a lot of people feel a lot more comfortable when they're working with someone else, but a lot of people also feel more comfortable when they're doing it on their own, and they can find their own answers, and they can bounce their thoughts off of themselves because they're more comfortable in their own presence than they are in the presence of someone else. I personally am one of those people. I prefer to do all of my spirit work by myself. If I need help, I go directly to spirit and wait to see if he sends somebody to deliver the message or if he brings it to me, him or herself. But if you're more comfortable in groups, go for it. This week is all about doing what is best for you and for your own healing and taking the responsibility of doing it. Once you realize what your cycle is, what your healing cycle is, it's about taking the responsibility and actually following that cycle. Okay? So I really hope that this helps you guys, and I really hope that this week ends up being as positive and empowering as I think it's going to be. So until next week, I am sending you all tons of love and light and many blessings, and I will see you next week.